ocean heart, clothed in respect and sweet caress, my uneasy mind, you dip and you swell, fold and you find, and sweet caress, my uneasy mind. Ocean, vast sea, deep ocean, vast sea, well that's deep. Imagine a set of steps, easily climb the tower of pride, the plastic of mind, where the lights a table, the table stands for the power of success, respect on the sign. Intelligence so cold, or hard like glass, from the surface too deep, you wave and you die, like the heart under sun, you wave and you die, you hold me so cold, you wave and you die. Deep ocean, vast sea, deep ocean, vast sea, well that's me. Your clothing respect, your smell of sweet caress, the difference well beyond the power of vests, your ocean heart, healing uneasy minds, and I wanna dive in with you, clinging to the rock, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting.
Welcome. It is a Monday evening. You're up. Stephen, Christian, Skelly, Jeremy Bailey from the UK, Bookshelf, Gerald, Hemi, Alucard, Enoch, Mr. David Castro, Gerald Montagna, that is Peter Murphy, Deep Ocean, Vast Sea. If you don't know who Peter Murphy is, he was the lead singer of Bauhaus. When Bauhaus broke up, Love and Rockets formed. There is your music trivia. X-Mask, it is in the key of B. John Boston, hope all is well. Let's not forget those lonely cat women with boxed wine and cat coloring with stickers. Yes, those are very funny, my friend. Good to see you Revsters in the house. He knows a thing or two. Timothy Sokol from San Pedro. Conduct 623, I may live alone, but I am not lonely. Well said. We'll get into it. Good to have everyone. Better alone single than alone in a relationship. I thought Murphy was a RoboCop. Peter Murphy for 300 Trebek. Now, let us begin. 1.2 million older men reported experiencing loneliness to some degree, moderate to high social isolation. 700,000 older men endorsed high degrees of feelings of loneliness based on this study. We'll post it after the show. There is a prediction that 1.5 million older men will live alone in the UK by 2030. That is just in the UK. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Now, which gender is the most lonely? That would be men. Men feel the most loneliness, right? Let's see. What does Gerald say? Wasn't Bauhaus one of the first? Yes, one of the first. Conduct, I felt most alone being married to a single mother. Yes. Researchers also found between the ages of 18 and 89, loneliness did not have an age. There was no set age of loneliness. You could have a 16-year-old lonely and you could have a 66-year-old lonely person. It didn't matter. Gen Z, boomers, millennials, it didn't matter. Every person, regardless of age, felt loneliness on some form in this group. Here's what researchers found that having in your life may protect against feelings of loneliness. Let's begin. A roommate. Doesn't say male or female. It might be a male roommate, like a friend. Good health. frequent social interactions, and what's the last one? A spouse. So you lonely men out there, go get married. JW, good to see you, brother. David Smith in the house, what's going on to you? Betty Saab. Men were lonely even during peak era of patriarchy. Only 40% men were able to have offspring compared to 80% of women. The stacks were always against men. Yeah, you're not wrong. They say that any person, typically men that spend 2 hours or more on technology devices, experience 68% more loneliness. So we knew all along technology, and they're probably playing video games or you're scrolling, what have you, is causing a lot of this. People in their later in life, they put their career first, and a lot of their friendships go away because of that. Then 10 years later, they're like, well, I work my ass off. I have no friends. 15% of all males believe that they have no close friends. 12% believe that they have no friends. So, and that has increased in the last 6 years, probably due to COVID and certain things like that. Timothy Sokol, want loyalty? Buy a dog. If you live under a bridge, your dog will still love you. Women, however, won't. Good to see Mysterio. I'm glad you were able to jump on, brother. Let's clearly define lonely, and it is negative. I can't see my friends and family every day. Loneliness is seeking validation from others. It's also wanting to have, look, we want to talk to people. We want to talk to people. We want to, have communication. But we have to figure out as men, especially men going through breakups and so forth, how do we get through it? What do we do? We've all been there at one point or time. Some of us were there in marriage, relationships, maybe some of you in cohabitation situations. How do you get through the loneliness? Do they actually make distinction between being alone and being lonely? They did in the beginning. Yeah. If it's got TATs or wheels, it'll probably quit when you need it. Gerald Montani, a single guy can't be friends with a married guy. Well, that's difficult. I got married friends. It's difficult, especially now. Big world. Alpha males have tons of friends and are never lonely. You might be right. Now, again, here's how men value friendships with other men. Men value instrumental aspects of their friendship. Common interest and shared activities are fundamental. One study found that all men valued groups that promoted social and emotional ties with other guys, such as gaming, sporting, recreational events, and also that increased well-being. This could be considered one of those activities, coming together in different chats and different live streams and sharing experiences. Good to see Otto back. Women are just as much, if not more lonely, but they've tons of simps around them to make them feel secure. Yeah, I didn't look into this in terms of the women loneliness factor. The issue with female nature, from my perspective, is women are able to compartmentalize. So they can be lonely on one part of their head and then do work, be a mom, be a difficult spouse, be a cat lady, and so forth. And so they can pick and choose at any given time how to function. Where if men is lonely, it pretty much consumes the whole 100% of his brain. However, that is good, that is bad. We have to deal with it in the beginning, and we got to figure out ways to get through it. But you're absolutely right, Betty. Known, unknown, alpha males have a bunch of acquaintances. I'll take a solid hobby over a sketchy female any day. There you go. John Markel, I have now moved into the stock world. Good for you. Good. Check out VOO, that fund, or FXAIX. John Boston knows some too. People have very few friends. Yeah, you could count on your hand how many true solid friends would show up to help you move. Women loneliness is all about validation for sure, said David. Keeping with singles, stats say that single women are happier than single men. How so? Now it's probably it's fake news, Mysteria. Fake news. I'd say very women experience loneliness. Very few women experience. Female nature is very different. I think women, again, they compartmentalize a lot of life. Yeah. I live alone and work alone by myself 90% of the time or more. Cheaper groceries. Good to see you, brother. Yes, FIO is the Vanguard fund. It's an ETF based on the S&P 500. Or do an S&P index fund. You'll always be ahead over the years. Men don't understand in these times. Lonely is a blessing. The world is full of snakes. 99% of men and women worldwide are trash. Correct, Europe. Correct. A jealous man is a dangerous woman. A jealous man is a dangerous woman. Yes. Women cannot be alone. We can, says Wolf. Absolutely. Ladies are able to talk a lot. They talk a lot with their women. Women somehow inherently understand one another, but so do men for the most part. Big Chris, I would feel lonely if I was married. I would definitely feel lonely if I didn't block lying females' phone numbers after I got them. There you go. I really want to squeeze as much power as I can from the declining dollar. You got to stay ahead of that inflation. Go look up a guy named Clear Value Tax on YouTube. I like his stuff. JR is in the house. You see you. Women are more selfish than ever. They feel they are entitled to everything. You're not mistaken, brother Cursed Venom. Good to see you. Good to see Wolf in the house. David Smith says he's pretty good at compartmentalization. It's definitely helped me out. And some guys might be. It's more of a trait for women, but there are guys that, out of sight, out of mind type thing. When I was going through my divorce, it consumed a lot of my mental energy. It was difficult. There was fear involved, anxiety of some sort, but you work through it. Men line up like a drive-through, and she is the restaurant. Got to say around, guys, some nice looking ass around. Control your biology. Technically, I have 27 friends. I would say Rad is 28 in terms of it. If I want a sounding board inside, there you go. I mean, I've got a lot of friends on here. I would consider every one of you guys my friend. We could probably, if we'd meet up one time and we'd be instant friends. We get along. We understand the foundation of why we chat and share our experiences in life. And hopefully some men have found, even though there might not be a connection within their own little community or where they live, but they found a community online where we can share with one another. Male friendships are much stronger than any female friendship. Men heavily value a loyalty. Women will screw each other in a heartbeat. Correct. If you level up in life, you will see 98% of your friends will be toxic, jealous, and will see you as an enemy. As long as you don't level up, they will love you. Well said, Europe. I'm self-employed. Multitasking goes with the turf. There you go. Life is just like high school. Athletes are at the top and have tons of friends. Life is identical to high school outside of high school. You're absolutely right. Especially in your 50s. All these people try to compete with one another. This is why I'm voting for Trump and not that tramp. There you go. Vote with my wallet. This is why a man being alone is it threatens the establishment. Well said. What's up to Men's Daily Advice? Check his channel out, guys. He puts out some good stuff. Good to see you, brother. Over 80% of women who divorced husbands for cheating are dating married men. No surprise. Loneliness is a psychological thing. Men do better alone. Something women can't do, and they need constant validation to live. Well said. Less out of sight, out of mind. I try to think about what takes precedence, what I can actually fix. And another thing, if you're busy doing things, it's the idle time that makes men start thinking, maybe I should have a girlfriend. I've got all this time, or maybe I should jump in that relationship. Keep busy, exercise, build things, build streams of income, learn, read. The MGTOW detached man is ungovernable. Yes. That's why they don't want men getting together and hanging out or comparing notes. Truth. Some redhead at work is a total biatch. I did something for her related. She didn't even have the spine to say thank you. Of course not. Of course not. Are you kidding? Being an orbiter is the loneliest thing a man can do to himself. Just block her and move on with your life. You won't feel lonely if you respect yourself by not accepting female foolery. Well said. Good to see SCE and Radical Rafter back. What's your take on your ex's female friends? They all divorced their husbands. Enough said. Part of the problem is that a lot of men have their identity and purpose ingrained in a fairy tale. If they took the time to exercise, read, study, and embrace solitude, they wouldn't feel so lonely. Well said, Marvel. Good to see you. It's absolutely correct. In my experience, I'm a Chad, and people always get jealous of me. Men and women. Men will say I'm an a-hole, and women will say he will only pump and dump. At least she tells the truth, right? Kristen Henny's back. Good to see you. An idle mind is the devil's playground. Sure is. Give them nothing. Mars is back. Good to see Mars in the chat. We get lonely after a breakup. Usually after getting 2 times on, write it out, exercise, hang out with any good positive. Well, we've invested, We've invested a lot and we don't like to lose. We were talking about loneliness, my friend. I don't trust rappers anymore. They're all Skittles. Isn't it funny? All these gangster rappers, gangster rap, they're all Skittles, most of them. If it weren't for Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Plato. Carl's in the chat. Good to see you, brother. I would say be productive because you can be busy doing nothing. Well said. Ideal time is the devil's time. I feel you, dude. Most dudes I hung out were paranoid about their chicks wanting to get with me. I mean, it happens more than people know, right? Did I ever bust my knee? Nah, I never had any issues. When I ride transition, I always pad up, so maybe that helped. And idle hands are the devil's plaything. Known Unknown says he thrives being alone, but I'm never alone. That's a very, very big difference. A MGTOW man understands that. I think good people exist, but in these times, it's very rare. You look at some of the greatest inventors of all time, they had very few friends, but they kept busy. Being lonely is basically being on borrowed time. They also said in the study that loneliness causes huge health issues, potential early death, and potential other things that you could do to harm yourself. Those OnlyFans gals, sad. I think that's more about the establishment wanting to push that Skittles trash onto the Black community, probably. Hearing you guys at the bar after their heartbreak while singing, everybody hurts, everybody cries. Is that the Michael Stipe song, REM? Everybody hurts. Learn to draw or write. Go read a book. Go read Ernest Hemingway. You know what's interesting about Ernest Hemingway? I found out his father killed himself. His sister killed himself. He killed himself. Like, it's a line of deletion. It's crazy. Talk spicy with 90% of women and the conversation will end. Attaboy, Axe Mask. It's getting worse for men in terms of loneliness. These damaged single mothers unnecessarily, they're calling for it. They need to change their perspective. Young Thug is Skittles for voting for than for Trump because of her fake race. So easy to fool the demon. Oh, they're so easy to fool. Ho F model. There you go. Most men, when effed over by a bitch, were in a very vulnerable position. Don't blame yourself. Never talk to them or they will use you and stress you out. Truth. Shout out to Hammer in the chat. Huge difference between being alone and being lonely. Absolutely, 100%. I love my alone time. And I assume most of you men do. Hammer, you did a great stream on those 2 clowns the other night. That was Thursday night. Thanks for doing that. I'd rather be alone than to be with bad company. BS come and go. It's life. There you go. Some of the most renowned scientists of the 20th century were basically hermits. Isaac Newton for 300. Look at Tesla. Nikola Tesla. Isolation is the best time to level up in life. Life is not always about women. Work out, take a trip, buy nice clothes, date yourself. Know it's hard, but by time you will love it. Absolutely. Go on a trip by yourself. Rowdy, you respect your father with him being a boomer and likely has a feminine mindset, which has gotten us into this shithole today. I respect my dad. He's a tough guy. I mean, he's obviously a lot older, so he's not as tough as he once was. He's softened a little, but a lot of soft men have gotten us in this mess, and difficult women, and society and government. Modern women are modern blank. If you want friends, just be an alpha, says Big World. Arvero in the chat, good to see you. Ernest Hemingway, yeah, look at his family line, man. They all friggin' deleted themselves. A lot of them. Women need to be taken care of. Men, however, don't need females. Isn't that the truth? Please marry me. My body count is over 9,000. Well, a lot of women, well, let's be on topic. Men who are lonely are in need of validation. They need to validate the person that's staring back in the mirror. I can only be around a woman for so long before I need my space. Manasseh, good to see you. If she ghosts you, ghost her back. Huh. Self-love is the best love. Absolutely. And a lot of people hate themselves. I think loneliness is basically a social construct. Are men really that lonely? I don't know. We should ask the first man on this earth. Was he lonely? There was nobody around him. So you might be right. Social construct. I would agree with that statement. Tesla died a virgin. That's some strong commitment. Man, did he keep his biology in check. Better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than in a house share with a contentious woman. Biblical. A good book. Tesla keeps going up. I'm like, where are all these people buying these Teslas? But who knows? Want a woman without the brain of a woman? Date a transformer, the thief. Well, I don't think you have many guys in this chat that agree with that, my friend. If you want friends, get a pet. Just picked up the Samurai Showdown collection game. Dope as F. There you go. Lonely to me is that you don't know what to do with yourself. Well, you're not staying busy. Really, a busy man is never lonely. Busy man is putting his purpose in front of him. Every questionable hole is a goal. MGTOW, control your own biology. Otherwise, your own biology will control you. Oh, yeah. I told my son that the other night. I said, you know what? You make one bad decision with a woman, you will pay for the rest of your life. JR, well said. Young men, in my opinion, don't actually value life. Notice how it's only once they hit the wall that all of a sudden they want to have families. Well, yeah, you're not mistaken, brother. You're not mistaken. I'm very masculine, but I hate being friends with alpha. It's not about friendship anymore. They want to lead the group. That's childish. Real men friendships depend on respect. You lose a man's respect, man, it's over. Many women are too hard on themselves. They need to love themselves because no one else does. Oh, there you go. I'm alone a lot. You know, my youngest, he doesn't come back and forth anymore because he's old enough to make his own decisions. So I only see him. I mean, I hung out with a couple people, but pretty much 90% of the time. Arvero, it's only for a few minutes. Yeah, you know what? I mean, just if you're feeling lonely, figure out a way to stay busy. You've got too much time on your hand thinking about being lonely. Her friends are called Brad, who pays, and Chad, who stays. Brian cleans her house. There you go. I like that. Brian cleans your house. Even my dog is only as loyal as her options. So how do you stay unlonely or remove loneliness? You stay busy. You understand that your validation doesn't come from anybody on the external. It comes from yourself. It's very difficult for people. It's almost as though, and I believe that you have chemicals in your head. If you said to somebody, hey, quit being lonely, just get out, snap out of it. They're chemically addicted to that loneliness. So they've got to slowly build those chemical interactions in their brain away from, and begin to dismantle them. So there is a brain chemistry regards to that. So the only way to do that is little by little. Get out, do things that challenge you, stay busy, take up a new hobby, learn to read, put yourself in difficult situations. So yeah, you will continue to be lonely if you don't do any of those things. You'll continue to be lonely if you don't stay busy, if you don't want to do anything new and continue the same patterns. I mean, we should do a chat on how to get over patterns. They sure do, brother Europe. Cheaper grocery. These girls can have a new best friend every couple weeks. Yeah, they stay like that. All right, you guys are talking about videos, and Peter repairs her car, and Sebastian is in her friend zone. There you go. The only way to win at life is to be strategic about all the moves from 18 to death. You got to be strategic, and it's tough to tell an 18-year-old kid that, because they're thinking, they're curious about life. There's a fantastical version of life out there that they've been sold, so they want to fall in love and get married and have kids and have the whole thing. But you're absolutely right. You got to be strategic. Go out and say hi to people. Go to the bar. I've told people, if you don't drink, fine. Go to the bar, watch a game, talk to the bartender. Order yourself a burger and a virgin, Shirley Temple. I think a lot of people are hard on themselves. Marvel Elite. Isaac Newton was an accomplished mathematician, and the Wright brothers invented the airplane, and they never married. What happens when you remove probably the biggest energy drain in your life? You can get to greatness. Modern women can't pair bond every week. They got a new Chad. Well said. Good to see Outlaw in the house. Red Pill like my doll's back. Rock on to you guys. I think the dopamine rush on pursuing on women is stronger than being on purpose in the short term. Control your biology. Control that testosterone surge. I mean, what if we all knew this at age 17? What if we knew about female nature, male nature, that controlling our biology would be the greatest secret and superpower we could ever have? How had our lives been different? Never argue religion online. I told a Buddhist to eat its soybeans and meditate. Sometimes you can't fix stupid in a lot of those arguments. The problem is we live in a hookup culture and most men are searching for a unicorn. Well said. Hammer says, remove distraction. Distraction, probably one of the greatest, or one of the most challenging issues we face. We can be distracted to do all sorts of things. Women love to use distraction on men. Keeps us in their narrative. I'm noticing a lot of what they say is bad for man to do benefits him greatly. Shaming and insults are the confirmation. There you go. Will Murphy, can you ever be actually red-pilled if you don't actually experience it first? No. I would say no to that. You could understand red pill, but if you've never gone through certain things, could be pretty difficult. Men only find red pill after a difficult challenge. You can't go and red pill recruit. There's no such thing as recruiting. They have to find it on their own, typically through a breakup or a relationship issue. I would have been more ahead in life. All my setbacks were caused by ladies, huh? A lot of women have caused men some challenging times. I don't think there's dopamine in pursuing women, maybe an adrenaline rush if you're inexperienced, says Weed Whisperer. Good to see you. Going to see bands is a great way to meet people. I remember going through my divorce, I go see bands by myself. Absolutely, great way to meet people. 50 to 60 hours a week, job and weekend projects coming out of my yin-yang. The lonely feeling is only sporadic. Good for you. Staying busy. Doing things that bring you peace, quiet, and freedom. I'm hard on myself. I want to retire by 35. What's your end goal, fellas? Have a goal and go for it. Purpose is the key. 100%. And saying the word no is a superpower. Well said. Men are meant to have an open path in life. If a man ever blocks, see you later. Well said, brother. I cannot compete with all the Chads and Tyrones, especially for these smashed and damaged souls. You're not alone, Betty. Pimp hand is always strong, not limp. Boy. Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor, here in the mountains, now sipping Irish whiskey in the wind in the trees. Freedom, attaboy. The way I see women, unless one can handle hurricanes, you will be dealing with that one way or another at least 90% of the time. Watching old Shaw Brothers Kung Fu films before sleep. There you go. Remember watching Kung Fu with David Carradine. We don't recruit, they find us. Yep, 100%. And I think Cameron said that a long time ago. My power is still out from the hurricane. Oh, man, I hope you're doing all right, brother. What a mess that caused. Dang. I used to be a magician, and there's a reason why magicians always perform tricks for a girl first, because she's all about the mystery. She loves to be lied to. You're not wrong. Mr. Sammy, good to see you. How critical is going to be in the future when these teenagers have the education of red pill knowledge that only wished that we had? It gives me hope for the future. That's a positive takeaway from that. Sure. I hope a lot of these boys really latch on to this message: peace, quiet, and freedom. As men, we automatically don't want to follow what other people tell us. We learn better from our own mistakes. It's tough. My brother, I told him multiple times not to do certain things. He still does them. Still hasn't learned. Modern men are crybabies. Men are in 2024 so weak. They act weak because they don't have experience. Well said. You attract the type of people based on the energy you put out. I agree with that statement. 100%. Nothing bothers me the most is doing nothing. Idleness. I want to retire before 2030. You're on your way, brother. Only single women that keep getting hit on don't experience major loneliness. Mysterio. She doesn't know, care to know, understand, and respect what a man want, need, and accept of her. She's not a unicorn. There you go. Manasseh, picking up drums this winter. Good for you. Jack Doan, hello, sir. Loneliness advice. Also, men should save face. You're not mistaken, brother. Ty M, men need to control their emotions and feelings as well. Good to see Ty. I do a lot of things by myself. I will still do them even if I get a girlfriend. Life is too short to live with a demonic demon, modern women who gives you drama and hurricanes all day. You are not mistaken. Women can, God, we don't have to talk about this. We know this. Women derail a lot of men. Ever notice most hurricanes and natural disasters are named after women? Except there wasn't Ivan, Hurricane Ivan, a pretty bad one? Called around a couple local shops here in Utah for alignment, had two girls that were workers answer, and they acted like they never heard the word. I know. I remember last year I went and get my tires changed, and the lady, I said, can you put a windshield wiper on? And it was like I was speaking gibberish or something. A wiper? Oh, you mean to change your wiper blades? Uh-huh. Put a wiper on. It's just, I don't know. Mechanics and women don't go along very well. Polska's in the house. He likes Stewart. I should have played. I'll play that one, the next one. I like you, Stewart. 90% of women are terrible drivers. X-Max. My son said, I said, Cole, who are the worst drivers? You know what he said? Women. And out here we have I won't say their ethnicity. Women and old farts. How about that? When you don't care about external validation, who are you saving face for? I think what I got from Jack's comment was save face. In other words, don't overblow your emotions or something. Learn to control your mental state. That's what I was thinking. It's almost Christmas. Where do we go? Isn't it crazy? Tomorrow's October. Dang. Where did the time go? I'm supposed to be on a Mexican beach somewhere. Or in a hut. Although I do have, I had two people come through this weekend that are very interested in this domicile. In fact, the guy that came yesterday lives down the street, going through a divorce, just like me, 45 years old, just like I was 46 when I moved in here. And same exact thing. Interesting. When you don't care, she will sense it. 100%. I don't need a man. I want a man. I don't need no man. Women always have warning signs. We men must just ignore them and get damaged at the end. If a man truly, as you get older, these young guys that are young are going to find out different ways than we did. You know, I'm in my 50s. I see things differently than I did in my 40s and my 30s. But when you start putting the things together, if you truly want to find peace, quiet, and freedom, you will, if that is your goal, and if the young guys that are listening, seek peace, quiet, and freedom. Well, if they listen, great. If they don't, great. I mean, they're going to figure out one way or another. There you go, Hemi. I don't want to be, you know, like that. CJ, October 8th, year starts in March. Guys, we are close to November 5th. Cuffing season's coming. John Markel's going to be cuffed to LaQuisha. Years really flying. Time flies when you get older, too. Santa, please. I want a woman who can shut her damn mouth, maybe by a robotic wife. Their program. Who was I talking to? Steven from Arizona? He's talking. Even they're going to program the AI women, the AI bots that are ladies with female nature. Go figure. It's getting cold out in Norway. We're not cold yet. We're 80 degrees. Women truly don't know what they want. They really don't. I've never met a truly independent woman in my entire life. There was always a man that supports somewhere. Sure. Who takes care of their car? I can't afford my house anymore. Please marry me. They want your ATM and your meat. Money, energy, attention, and time. Well said. I'm going to start listening to Christmas music. I like a little bit of Christmas music, like that one by Paul McCartney. I like Wham! Last Christmas. I like some of the pop songs that they've done. We are all getting old, folks, but who cares? We love each other more than our own exes. Well, we get along, that's for sure. 7,500 elevation. You up in Flagstaff, Timmy? Godfather of Ramadi is back. Good to see you. Women have all types of government assistance. X-Mask, yep. Women and Children First, a record by Van Halen. There's a robotic toy on the market called Auto Blow, Weed Whisperer. Interesting. Johnny Cash's album. There you go. I like Johnny Cash. Rusty Rivers, good to see you. If you want to go fast, be alone. If you want to go far, be on a team. Well said. She better pay you with PayPal. Attaboy. Serious question. Do you think women could do very hard work and not complain? Probably a very minuscule percentage, but probably not. You don't like the Wham song? Oh, more for me to eat then. I'm outside Jerome. There's a Jerome, Idaho. I hate Christmas music. I do like a couple of them. But I'm not, ever since my divorce, I'm not really into Christmas anymore. It just doesn't mean the same. Who else feels that way? I mean, now that my kids are older, all they want is cash, right? They can sense it if you want to level up. Yeah, they sense energy. Look, women are very good at sensing things or not sensing things. But a lot of them think. They have that, there's that maternal instinct with kids too. If something happens to their kid and the kid's out of their sight, they feel something. But they also have whacked out feelings too. So, again, we don't understand women. They don't understand us. They've written so many books about it that we still don't understand the other sex. Yeah. I mean, I'm just Marty. Good to see Marty. It's Christmas. We used to be fun with the kids, and we were together as a family. Doing Christmas as a divorced man with kids, that wasn't. I don't know. Lost a lot of it. It was just. It's better. Christmas is always better when I had my ex-wife. She did a great job. This Christmas, I gave my heart. There you go. Bob and Doug McKenzie song. But guys, the reality is this: loneliness is something that is learned. It's a social construct. We're told that if we're alone, something's wrong with us. I can tell so many men that are lonely in marriage and relationships. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. There you go. All right. You are down by Jerome. I love Xmas music. I get nostalgic. There you go. It's not the same anymore. Absolutely, Jerome Markel. It was a lot funner. My dad used to be a great Santa. Going back in time for you, you would still get involved with women. It would be more short-lived or no. Yes, I don't believe in monogamy. I think monogamy is a construct as well. I think people get tired of one another. I think that it's difficult. If I would have known those things 25 years ago, how my life would have been different. I truly believe that there's just a very small fraction, maybe 1%, that can maintain relationships. And there's still female nature, there's still male nature involved. There you go, Christian. Hopefully you were safe. There's lots of men who are lonely and they're married. Oh, 100%. Cheech and Chong. There you go, Condit. Oh, come on, Bob. You like it. Bandmate does a version of it. I'm sick of games, no BS. I've got my shit together. That's what they all say. You better have your shit together. Christmas. Simps have always loved that holiday, giving more than receiving nothing, especially from ladies. There you go. Marty Bernard. Eminem is the original red pill rapper, raised by a single mom. Harems existed for a reason. David Smith. Every modern woman I had was taking pills for her psychiatrist. I know what you mean. They're mentally ill and they are never happy. A lot of people are not happy. A lot of men aren't happy. Are we talking about Christmas now? I do like Christmas Story. Blasphemy. Well, Radkey did it then. I met more people traveling solo than staying in the same place at home. There you go. Big world. Where are you still over in Vietnam? Modern women only make bullshit with men when they are not attracted to understand the game. Life, relationships, friendships are based on transactions, especially opposite sex relationships. It's all transactional. We have to accept that. Most men don't want to accept it. They think they are loved for their hearts. And maybe some are, but the majority aren't. They're loved by what's in their wallet, what they give to the woman. Was Valentine's Day a big deal for you before or after? No, I never liked it. Valentine's is for like 12-year-olds. Holidays are all about those corporations making a shit ton of money. Well said. Christmas is not, I've spent many Christmases alone, at least the last 4. And I find something to do. 50% of women after 40 have their uterus out. A lot of them do. Mine got a hysterectomy. Beavis and Butthead are taking over. I used to get sad around Christmas. More than anything, seeing my kids grow up. It was so much fun, the memories that we built. Not anymore too much. I've learned to accept it. It's dangerous to date women. Cucks are the worst. A lot of cucks out there, a lot of simps. They take advantage of lonely men and monetize it. And a lot of guys are getting cuffed right now because they don't want to go through the holidays alone. You know what I do? A lot of times I've gone hiking on Christmas Day, ride my bike on Christmas Day, have a nice dinner, go out to eat, if there's a restaurant that's open. But typically, I've been to friends' houses, I've been out with my sister. So there's things you can do. Eating pizza like Donatello from Ninja Turtles. Cucks are the main bad guys. Well said, brother. Only children and dogs love unconditionally. Anything else comes with a price tag. You're not wrong, Ramadi. Some men overseas are loved for their hearts, lungs, and kidneys. Truth. Successful. Truth. I golf every Christmas morning with bachelor buds. One day of the year. Free golf. There you go. Take advantage, Timmy. I always picture a lonely old man sitting in his rocking chair by the fireplace on Christmas. If there's an older man that's alone on Christmas Day that go knock on the door, take him a plate of cookies or something, or just talk to him. That would be a cool thing to do. I never felt that way. I'm going on my lone Christmas number 14. Yeah, I lost the Christmas spirit, Arvero. Men don't understand that they are with women. Their pockets will always be empty. If you are single as a man, you are rich. Your pockets are always full. Think about Christmas spirit. And it might come back down the road, but I've learned to accept it. What am I going to do? My kids, we say Merry Christmas and so forth, give gifts, usually the day of or the day before or after, and we go from there. I've taken trips on Christmas. I take my sons to zoo and other places. They're tiny. I'm preparing them for the brutal world. There you go. Do the things that they will remember. These 304s destroyed the sweet nostalgia of the 90s. Just send the asteroid, Big Chris. It's on its way, 2036, I think. Please kiss me. I love your Lamborghini. I mean, I love you, Brian. That's right. That's exactly what we are talking about. I wonder how many women get pregnant and are thinking and wishing it was another man. I guarantee they're not thinking about you, most of them. What's your definition of male nature? Mine is the need to keep life interesting without drama. I agree. Finding purpose, using my hands to build things, to fix things. You like Joseph Hoffman, he likes the booty on LaQuisha. She will call you abusive and controlling when she can't control and abuse you as a man. When I was in high school, I volunteered at a few homeless shelters. A lot of these people are so happy just to talk to someone. I think it's a fulfilling. We did, when the kids were little, we did, what do they call that? A place where we helped put oranges in bags and made, food bank. It was a wonderful experience. Kids really liked it. And it was good to do something for others. It's just a whole year of men just working and spending and working and spending. Yep. How has your mindset changed after living alone? I just realized that I can never live with anybody else again, big world. Probably my boys, that's about it, but that would be difficult too. What if it's happiness? To me, it's peace and tranquility. There you go. I heard borderline personality disorder can't be alone. Oh, I doubt it. You're probably right. I doubt they can be alone. Don't be financially abusive. Self-reliance is male nature to me. There you go. Another good trait. Food banks. Yep. That was a wonderful opportunity. And maybe this year I'll find an older gentleman or somebody that doesn't really understand red pill. Maybe just talking to him will actually, help them physically. Their health will probably get better just by having somebody to talk to. I found a little joy today by cooking slower. Ironically, it was instant noodles over and over. Attaboy, Bolo. It's the little things. It's the little things in life. It's the minimalistic things. Men are lonely because men love females more authentically. Talk to text never gets it right. They use men for food dates, eating for 300 Trebek. They sure do. They're called foodie calls. Did you get your kids cool presents? Yes. Yeah, I already made it. But now I give them money. I can't live with anyone because I'd soon get tired of them, especially if it's a 304. I like my alone time. Yeah, I like being alone. I like my own time. I work remotely and read books while working. I feel retired already. Attaboy. Mysterio, Timmy, do you think he come off as younger? He probably does. It's more fun to go on food dates with good male friends. Absolutely. Men are lonely because they don't go within. Self-reflect, ponder, contemplate, and search. Truth. My thoughts on Corey Richens. She killed her husband because she had a suitor and she wanted life insurance money. Just a horrible human being. And I hear what you're saying. No Skittles. Females love to love. They love to love. They love the idea of love. You are GAY if you don't provide for ladies. Chad never got the memo, did he, Hanak? She is never single and her man is called a smartphone. Well, most women's boyfriends are either on their watch or in their palm. Do you ever watch? It's my favorite movie at Christmas time. I always watch it every year. Now listen here, little guy. You jumped off the bridge. I was trying to save you. But I was only jumping in the water to save you. Look, Mr. Potter. I'll do anything, Mr. Potter, please. Jimmy Stewart for 300. Love yourself first before any woman. Women see that. Yes, when you put yourself first, it goes a long ways. I see now prosties with higher value than modern ladies. I mean, it's out of control. These women that they're all on dating sites and then they try to get you to their Instagram and then their OnlyFans. It's what world we live in now is quite interesting. Also, if you keep yourself occupied, you'll have lonely phases, not like prolonged. Yeah, absolutely. Stay occupied, stay busy. Ever since being alone, I'm often presumed that I have a girlfriend or I'm a player. You a player. Wave your hands in the air if you a true player. I typically fix my bike, Mysterio, unless it's something I don't have the tools for. It's not too, like I won't do any shocks or any of that stuff. Boredom only exists in the boring mind. Correct. You like my It's a Wonderful Life? Appreciate it. Appreciate you. That's because we can discuss absolutely offensive crap to each other and not take it personally, whereas ladies look for reasons to get angry. Well said, SCE. Well said. That's not rock solid evidence that she drugged him. The court will have to prove her guilt. True, but it sure stinks to high heavens. They're just networking apps. It's like LinkedIn for thoughts. Well said. Wave your hands in the air if you a true player. Make an imaginary girlfriend. I'm married to Elizabeth Montgomery now in my fantasy world. Elizabeth Montgomery, wasn't she like, is she the chick in Mad Men? Kind of that really plain Jane in Mad Men that was in love with Don Draper. We'll do hobo dinners when we go camping. I love hobo dinners. The dynamics would sure change, Europe. Well said. Read a great novel, lift weights, go scuba diving, play golf, endless possibilities. Well said, Timmy. As men, if we decide to hang out with each other, the respect is immediately known on some level. Yeah, I mean, that's our inherent, what we do. Well said. I mean, the more energy you give, the more it drains your energy. Sure. I'm down with that. Oh, it was Bewitched. Okay. Yeah, she was cute. I think she's still alive too. What was her name? Barbara somebody? I truly enjoy learning from other men's experiences and their thoughts. Well, that's why we do this. We do this to help one another. I do it because I enjoy it and it helps me to chat with other men and to somehow give back from what those great men gave to me when I was going through my shit. And hopefully people extend this as well. Every one of you should have a channel. Her cat say, please. Rescue me, I can't hear her nagging. Oh, she died in 96. Okay, gotcha. It blows my mind how women are willing to overlook Chad's mistakes. A good example would be Wade Wilson, the man who yeeted 3 ladies. A lot of women signed a petition to get him. Oh, yeah. How about the women that have married the Menendez brothers? We have to accept the burden of being a man while a female will get bailed out. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Or is it I Dream of Jeannie Bewitched? I can't remember. Bewitched. Black pill, blue pill cucks. A lot of blue pillars. Either they don't want to accept the truth or they think that they will continue with it. But you know, a lot of guys don't even understand what red pill is. They don't understand. They have not crossed the Rubicon. They don't know this. They've gone through bad relationship, but they probably say it's because they chose the wrong person. And that there's a better one out there. Most of my friends, I think they equate infamy with status. I'm not. Yep. Jenny was cute too. A lot of these men just believe they can't be alone. They get married very quickly. If they break up, they're on the prowl for the next girlfriend. They haven't learned. Most men don't even discuss their problems. Barbara was I Dream of Jeannie. That's who I'm thinking. That's who I'm thinking. They even were trying to get Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh yeah, someone took him out. Are you still playing it? Yes. There's safety issues, big world everywhere. So I'm not too concerned. I'm not going to Sinaloa. What is better, being single and your pockets are full? Or you have a girlfriend and you're always broke. Date them, but don't pair bond with them. They are too expensive. Well said. Barbara Eden, that's who I'm thinking about. Yes. She's still alive, right? We need to move forward and evolve. Dating apps out, brothel and escort apps in. Well, pay to play. Pay to play. Men don't really take offense about how reality is to us. We are reminded daily of our faults and have to take accountability for things we do and things we don't. Imagine that. Yeah. Dahmer with Skittles. Totally. So he killed he deleted all those guys through Skittles. Elizabeth Montgomery is Samantha from Bewitched. Now I got it, guys. Tresnor, good to see you. Legalize prosty. No, I don't know about Mexico City. I want to be in smaller towns. Smaller towns. Going to have customized t-shirts for my boys who ain't even 10. She's yours. It's not your turn. There you go. Guys, this has been a great chat with you all. Remember, if you're lonely, you got to figure out things to do. You got to look in the mirror and love yourself. A man that's lonely does not love himself. Learn to love yourself and things will change. So with that being said, I'll read Europe. She is a Barbie and she wants a Ken that doesn't exist. Truth. Until the next one, we'll see you guys again. It's been a great chat. Appreciate you all being here. And we'll go from there. And help those in need, especially your fellow brothers. I'm out. Peace.